everybody and welcome back to the channel. I had just finished all the things I needed to do today. Went online, realized the patch notes are out. Haven't looked at anything yet. I see Alawi sort of poking out as I look at my camera. And I am excited to see Bard get destroyed. I want Bard to be put into the dirt. And I want Alawi to get a slap on the wrist. Probably a health drop. Yeah, let's jump right into it. I'm a little bit too excited. All right, and Alawi. Now this makes me look silly because I could have just I didn't look at it, but I felt this was an obvious decision, right? Obvious. She was just a little bit too tanky. A bit too hard to kill for her mana. This is fair. This is fair. It's still really strong on the turn that you want to play her, and this actually incentivizes you to play her in other regions that have better protection. And honestly, that's probably just still Demacia. But Freljord also works pretty well with this. And certainly less likely to be paired. Well, probably not less likely to be paired with Bard. Bard still can negate this nerf with just one chime. So I think Bard Alawi is always going to be a strong concept, unless they completely destroy Bard. Just how it is, I guess. Yes, our goal here is to enable greater interactivity by putting Alawi more in range of removal. It is what it is. All right. So change spawn 2 to what? Oh, I think they need the switch. So it's spawn. So Tentacle Slam spawns 2 instead of 3. Ugh, that's okay. I understand. Tentacle Slam. It was a really awesome card. I love this card for being able to kill 3 health units. But I agree. A bit strong outside of tentacle decks, and of course this doesn't affect tentacle decks as much as it does some of these other offspins that just utilize tentacle smash because it was just a really strong card. Makes sense. It hurts a bit, but it's expected with how strong Alawi has been. Maybe if Alawi gets power crept in the future, they'll change this back. Definitely something that could be possible. Or if Bilgewater as a whole becomes really underpowered, this is a good place to bump it back up. But for now, this is an appropriate change. And I see Karma. Becoming a 4/4. All right, actually, kind of a big deal. Hold up. She doesn't die to get excited now. She doesn't die to so many 3 damage pings. This is quite a hefty buff for Karma. But I also think it's kind of thematic because, Karma is all about balance, but her stats were not balanced. So now we have balanced stats, as it were. That's fun. Karma has been underpowered for a long time, and I think combining with her most recent, her other change was kind of a nerf in a way, wasn't it? It basically clogs your hand. I feel like if this is not enough to make her viable, then the best thing they could do is to change her the creating a spell in hand to where it won't make you overdraw, if you know what I mean. So if set a limiter to if you had 9 cards in hand, Karma won't create a card in hand to destroy your draw. I think that would be an appropriate change. But hey, that's just me. We hope that the jump from 3 health to 4, especially on a 5 drop, shifts how easy Karma is removed and increase her currently low play rate. Yep. We don't want Karma to be too strong, but we do want her to be a champion And champions need to have good play rates compared to other cards. Alright. What's the buff here? Create a Pokestick, or if you have one, reduce cost by 1. Oh! Oh, so basically, if you already have one, it becomes free. I was expecting a health buff, actually, for Gnar. Like, you know, the attack buff is a little bit too much for Gnar. It's just a little bit too much. But this is... I mean, it's good. Don't get me wrong, this is good. I mean, in Bandle City, you run Pokestick anyways, so with one hit, you basically get a free Pokestick. And this works really well with specifically Transform, because a lot of times you're forced to use Pokestick as a way to create your ping. So this is good. This is good. But I don't know how effective it will be, but it's a good change. Alright, Zillion's Careful Preparation. What? To play, place a card from your hand into your deck, predict, then create an example. Oh, they're changing Zillion's? Oh, they're changing Zillion's spell. Oh, does this actually... Yeah, I think this actually does buff Zillion. Like, you never use his spell. It was like almost always better to just play another Zillion and get more time bombs. This changes things. Yeah, and this actually helps Echo too, because it means that you're more likely to have predicts when you draw multiple Zillions. I like this change. I think more champions could go for a change like this, not just Zillion. Let's see how it turns out. Maybe, I mean, it's almost certainly better than his previous champion spell. But if it makes a huge difference in the current Zillion decks we see, maybe not. We'll see. Alright. So, times don't start planning until you have 3+ mana gems. Oh. We want to reduce the frustration of early turn chime high sides. That English right? And point Bard a bit more firmly towards mid-range archetype. Okay. And it's mana gems, not like you can't just like float your mana and with spell mana and have it activate. And a lot of the ramp cards you would use to get to 3 mana are played at mana crystals, so that no real way to cheat this out. I don't think this is enough. I'll be honest. I think they should have raised his level up condition. I think it should be 25. I think that that would be a little bit more elegant. But to be fair, this does slow down his level condition a considerable amount. So you would be like, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It just basically takes out 9 chimes in a Bard deck. That's pretty good. I mean, there's several ways you could nerf Bard archetype. I personally think they should change Beard to switch his stats to a 1/2, because he's just a really strong 1-drop. And it would make more sense for the archetype to have like not so ideal static units, but they get buffed by chimes anyway. That they become more ideal. Just my personal thought. Alright, and Cosmic Binding plants 6 chimes. I mean, Cosmic Binding, if you don't know, Cosmic Binding is actually a pretty good card by itself. It's basically comparable to Palm, but it's in Bandle City. So that gives it a degree of flexibility that Palm does not have, which makes sense why it has the extra mana cost. I think that the chimes barely made a difference otherwise, but hey, there's 6 chimes now. Maybe you play this more often in Bard decks. Who knows? All right. Okay. Okay. Second skin is slow. Oh, Riot. No, Riot. Riot, really? This is a really good change. This I disagree with heavily. Look. This card is not acceptable with the things like Rite of Negation and such that already exist in this region. Granting Overwhelm and Spell Shield should not be this easy. It shouldn't be this easy. Here we are. Hey, I mean, it's comparable. Look, it's comparable to Bastion, but this is better than Bastion because it's also a win condition. See, like Bastion gives you +1/+1. This gives you Overwhelm. What's better, Overwhelm or +1/+1? And now you can't like use it in response like Bastion, but you can use it preemptively, and that's exactly what this card wants to be. Overwhelm finisher with a preemptive protection. So it's proactive in killing your opponent while also being a very defensive option by protecting that unit in advance from further removal. It's still a busted card, and I don't like it. I wish it was just a give instead of a grant, and leave it at 3. But maybe that's not even enough. Maybe you have to turn this into a give at 4 mana. I have a vendetta against this card, if you couldn't tell. But at least this happened. At least focus into slow. It leaves Kaisa way more vulnerable. Like, she can no longer at focus speed play Supercharger and then play second skin to set up a big attack. Love this change. Honestly, should have been like this on release. Alright, and then the goal here is to increase the opponent interactivity, obviously. Hate Spike goes to 1 mana. Yo? Hate Spike? 1 mana? A 1 mana deal 2? To a unit. Specifically to a unit. This is not bad. This is actually now comparable to Group Shot? No, not Group Shot. It is Group Shot. In Bandle City, the 1 mana conditional deal 2 at fast speed. That's what this is. It's actually a balanced card now. Wait, what? Harsh Winds turns to 5 mana? Oh? I mean, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. That's crazy. They just keep buffing Ash. They really want Ash to be viable. Holy crap. But this also does super well for Anivia as well, because Harsh Winds is her champion spell. And a 1 mana difference is huge. Oh my gosh. And now you actually have a reason to run this over just running Flash Freeze. Because, like, before when this is 6 mana, it's like, oh, this is just, like, playing 2 Flash Freezes. And why not just, if it's worth the same amount, basically, of opportunity cost with Flash Freeze, why run Harsh Winds when you can just run Flash Freeze? Now there's a reason. You're saving, you get more value for your freezing. Yes! Very good card. And also Blighted Ravine. This is the most expected nerf. I heal your Nexus to 2 instead of 4. Honestly, that's probably how this card was originally designed. You know what I mean? Like, it healing more just feel a little bit off. It probably was printed like that because Freljord at the time was really bad. Freljord was very much lacking strength, and it needed a stronger card that was removal that you could pair with, with Avalanche, and that's what Blighted Ravine was. And now that Freljord has really strong combo potential with a lot of different landmark decks, this seems like an appropriate change. Feels like this is what the card always wanted to be, but it wasn't like that because due to the region that it was in. A fair change and an expected one. Wait, getting repeats here. Ah, yes. Countdown 9. Yeah, it was either this or they changed the thralls themselves to be like 7/7s, and that's not fun. 8 mana 8/8s need to be 8 mana 8/8s needs to be a thing, right? But but the region of Shurima and Freljord now I just have too many ways to count down Freljord super easily. So yeah, preemptive nerf to thralls since we are nerfing some of its main predators. Ah, thinking ahead, I like it. Not looking to catapult it back to dominance. Should mitigate some of the early turn high sides that players found frustrating. Yeah, appropriate. You know, when I saw Boom Baboon, I knew. On the nerf list, I'm like, they're gonna make that guy a 2/1. I knew it to be true. It's getting the Bright Steel Protector treatment. A really strong card, or not even just Bright Steel Protector, but the Concologist and Financer treatment. It's a really strong card that produces. So it's a card that's decent on its own that produces a really sought after card. And so therefore it makes sense that it's a 2/1. 2 mana 2/1. I still think that Financer needs to be changed. It provides too many win conditions in the right decks. But hey, that's how it is. Station Archivist, I forget. Oh, they just nerfed. Oh, this is a significant nerf. They knocked down her HP value, but they also made that the cards that you found are shuffled. So you're no longer guaranteed to draw those cards. Huh. Okay. That's a significant nerf. Significant nerf to Station Archivist. Alright. Countdown 12. Probably really needed. I mean, it's a pretty strong card, let's be honest. Your Ravenbloom Conservatory. It's a really strong card. That makes sense. You gotta play 2 more skills to unlock its full potential. It's still a really solid card, and I don't see this like killing the card at all. I think this card will always be in the meta. Always. Too good not to be. Concept is so cool, people are just gonna have to play this. Yeah. Makes sense. Alright. Catagrin the Ruined. 6 mana, 6/6. Grant an ally challenger and yeah, it used to be champion or dragon challenger. Now grant an ally challenger. Wait. Oh, it was only. Oh, it was even worse than I thought it was before. Oh my gosh, it could only be a champion or a dragon? That's so restrictive. And it's in Demacia. The 6th spot is really, really competitive. Alright, grant an ally challenger and +1/+1. Okay. Probably how it should have been on release, honestly. Yeah, Catagrin was too narrow to see much play, and the effect was slightly weak for a 6-drop. hoping this bumps should make him an interesting candidate for inclusion in Dragon and other decks. Probably not going to propel him into competitive environment, but it's good. No. This and the number of subsequent changes are aimed to revitalize Vandal City's attractiveness as a recall region. Grant, remove the mark and stun and deal 3. I hate Mark of the Storm! I was of the opinion that Mark of the Storm shouldn't even be doing damage, okay? And so they're buffing the damage? Why? I get that Kennen is weak right now. That's more of a symptom of Vandal City having to be weak because it's the do everything region. Vandal City now can only be viable in very specific deck archetypes, or else the entire region will take over the game. That's how Vandal City is designed right now, and it will always be like that. And it seems like they're leading into that even further here because they want to make it a more attractive recall region. So it's going to specifically be paired with a recall deck. That's what they're aiming for. They're aiming for more Vandal City specific synergy cards. It makes Vandal City sort of a boring region, honestly. And I know why they have to do it. They kind of put themselves in that corner, but that doesn't mean I can't complain about it. Alright, Starbone. Gonna be a bone here, right? I'm a comedy genius. No question. No question. Okay. If you behold a celestial, okay. So if you behold the messenger, grant celestial allies everywhere. +1/+1. Removing the narrowness from the card in order to make a build. Okay, so if you behold celestial, create a messenger. And so, okay. Create the messenger I can create. Okay, so basically this is more of a celestial card than a messenger card. Makes sense. Alright. Reputation I cost 2, and okay. So they're adding reputation to bloody business. That just makes sense, I guess. Yeah, it makes sense. I thought I wasn't actually expecting that. But here we are. Man, Riot really likes Ash, huh? And LeBlanc. Has there been a patch where there hasn't been like a buff or a new card for that archetype? Or at least several in each patch. Wow. That's crazy, man. That's crazy. Alright, back to 5, yep. Heals back to 5. Whoop, Star Shaping is back, baby. Back to its old glory days. Another revert, hopefully enabling some slower decks. Yep. Probably will. Wait, whoa. Thunderfist. Thunderfist actually a card now? 3 mana, 3/3. That's a good stat line. And then it turns into a 5/5. It's a conditional 5/5. This is worth it. Wait, okay, so this is for the recall deck. Huh. This might be too much. Honestly, turning it into a 5... I think a 5/4 would be more appropriate. 5/5? Oh my goodness. Oh, hey mama. That ain't looking good. Alright, 1/3. Makes sense. When I'm summoned, grant me impact 3 times. Okay. So, I mean, this is more appealing, but obviously not as great. You know? I mean, dealing 3 guaranteed damage and just having a big dude throw into your opponent's face is always good. And they also made the Silent Storm itself a better statted unit. Is it enough to make this a good card? The answer is most definitely not. I don't see this seeing play. at all. But this Thunder Fist, though, Dondo Fist will see play. I can guarantee it. This is a massive buff for that. Like, Thunder Fist was a joke before, but 3 mana, 3/3, so solid base stats that can turn into a 5/5 conditionally. That's golden. That's golden, man. It's golden. All right. So what are they doing to Dusk Petal with Dust? The next unit with Nightfall you play this round costs 1 less too. The next card you play. Oh, it's any card. Oh, any card. This reduces the cost of any card by 1. Huh. That's just Nightfall cards. Does that really make a difference outside of Nightfall decks? I don't think it does. I think it's more of a quality of life thing. Yeah, I think this is more of a quality of life update. Maybe there was some weird interactions in the Nightfall deck that would require it to be cost 1 less this round. I could see that. Yes! Oh my gosh. People just stuck this in aggro decks, and even Yasuo decks, and were like, I stun, and then I get big decimate damage. And you can't block because I stunned something. Yeah. Yeah, Jin is the only one allowed to be perfect. It ain't allowed to be a 4/4. It's too perfect. Only Jin can be perfect. Yeah. In this patch, we are moving a lot of cards in and out of different tiers of interactability. Ephemerals make the stagehand enough of a 4 target for interaction that it has no need for 4 health. I didn't really think it was ephemeral. I think it was more aggro decks that kind of pushed this card to be a little too much. But hey, more interaction is good. Love it. Yes! 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 This is what I'm talking about. Yes, this card is so annoying. Oh, it's so annoying. I get to recall you and then basically rally. Now it's like every other rally effect outside of Demacia. It costs 5. Thank you. Makes sense. And honestly, you could make this cost 6 and it'd still be played. Thank you for nerfing this. Oh my goodness. This is not a small hit. This is a big hit. They were very reliant on this card. Very, very, very reliant. It was basically their main form of interaction. Just basically, they slowed down your win condition with this card while speeding up their own. It made such a huge difference in matchups, especially against Kaisa. It's why that Azir Irelia was so good into Kaisa. It's because cards like this. This card. Man. Alright, so the Traveler is now a 4 mana 4/4. Alright. Makes the Traveler more playable. I see nothing wrong here. More attractive choice, I agree. Yep, it happens, Boyd. It happened. They finally made this guy Squeaker or 2 mana 2/2. They buffed him last patch, they gave him +1 health, and then this patch, yeah, let's give him 2 attack. It is what it is. Rumor that Squeaker has a blackmail portfolio for every designer are completely and totally unfounded. Okay, we did it. Again, don't beat the Squeaker. No one likes... Oh, they're a bunch of jokers. They're a bunch of jokers. No. Nightmare Fuel. Vandal City Mirror. Actually being good again. Alright. So 3 mana, 2/3. Does this make a difference? Probably. Doesn't die to Mystic Shot. That's pretty good. So it can actually, do its value. You know what? It's like the inverse of Gleaming Lantern. It's a very similar thing, but it's for multi-region. I think I like that. I like that dichotomy, where the Fey stuff has the 3-2 that cost reduction, and Fey obviously are much stronger than multi-region now, and the multi-region gets the 2-3. Makes sense to me. I feel like this is a positive change. Speaking of positive changes, Hourglass 3 mana. This is a card that has been used to protect a lot of things. Yes, a lot of things. A little bit too well within the region of Shurima. Because they got Deny, and they recently got Supercharger, and then they have every other spell shield thing that they can get. And then they also had this. So it basically could counter every removal in the game. So making this cost more, make it a little bit iffy if you put it in your deck or not. I approve. Very, very good. Dreama was not intended to be the premium unit protection region. It was a time for a change. Kill me, Riot. You kill me with these puns. 2 mana, 2/4. 2 mana, 2/5. Actually, this is a win condition on its own, and giving it this +1 health makes it survive so much more, making it even better. I approve. I approve. Oh, its own overwhelm is removed. Okay. Yes. Yes. This makes yes. Give other allies 2+1 and overwhelm. No more overwhelm for the Winding Light. It was too good at its job. It was too good. But now it still does the thing that it wants to do. It's still thematically correct for what it is. It's still a good finisher. It's just not, game destroying. I approve. I approve of this change. We want to put more emphasis on Winding Light as a go wide finisher, and less on its own stats. Yep. This was this is it. This is good. Papercraft Dragon is carrying the Bandle City region. They buffed a lot of different things in the Bandle City region, and they nerfed their main pillar. Makes sense. Makes sense. 6 cost? Big difference for this card. Big difference. Could be the difference between finishing it a turn earlier or a turn later. Or even more. And also, tapping out for, for it to be reacted to. Like, you have less room to you have less wiggle room with your mana. That's what I'm trying to say with my English words as soon as they come out of my mouth. Alright, we want to tap the brakes on Paper Dragon. Yep, that's how it is. Alright, Battle Bonds. What are they doing with Battle Bonds? So, it's now cost 5. Instead of slow, it's burst. And it's grant +2/+2. Provide more potential tools for wider Targon strategies. I still don't know if this is playable. It's Grant, I'll give you that. But Brothers Bond is 3 mana, so 2 mana less. And it's also burst. And it gives 1/2 to 2 allies. And it barely sees play. So, going off of that, I think this card is still trash. It's just trash in a different way. It is what it is. It is what it is. Alright. Venomony. Okay. I won't even try to pronounce that name anymore. When I'm summoned, create 2 pranks. This card was a card in the game. Huh. So 4 mana. This is basically the Chump Wump. It's basically Chump Wump now. Except it gives pranks, which is more toxic. Ha! Okay. I guess. Try to open up some more playable options for Bandle City. You didn't have to. You didn't have to. You didn't have to buff the prank deck. You really didn't have to do that, Riot. Like, come on, man. Alright. We have a Freljord card buff. This is what I'm talking about. 5 mana, 4/6. It's now at base a Trundle card. This is basically Trundle with Overwhelm in a follower. That's not bad. Like, a part of what makes Trundle so good is his stat line with regen that can just dominate the mid game. And this doesn't take up a champ slot. So this could add some more flexibility in the type of mid-range decks that Freljord goes for, which I approve of. Now, will it likely be meta? Hell no. Hell no, probably not. But I approve of the direction it is going. Alright, and they buffed Twisted Catalyzer again because, you know, more Bandle City things need to happen. Darkness was struggling, and well, they gave Twisted Catalyzer back. Riot gives, and they take it away, and sometimes they give back. Reverting Catalyzer, yeah, stance was proven to be a very difficult meta for them. Alright, we have some personalization. That's a sick-ass board. That's some sick-ass card art. And bug fixes. I will just leave these bug fixes out so that you can see them. Oh, they fixed the Shen bug with the Void Abomination and the Kinku Student. Ah, very nice. All right, and that is everything. I hope you all enjoyed my reactions to the patch 3.13 notes. I look forward to playing on this patch immensely. I cannot wait to see how the meta has changed, because they literally hit all the top decks and they buffed a lot of Bandle City cards. Not super excited about that, but I am excited about the possibility of a meta shift. So, until then, leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe, maybe ring that bell, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.